Hard to believe, I know, because, I am so youthful. Stop laughing at the back. Yes, I know. But I was actually there. No, not at the launch of Noah's Ark, before you get angry. No, but before you get cheeky, should I say. No, but actually at the very launch of the wonderful series that was Harry Potter. Yes, be serious for a moment, chums. Now, what was fascinating about this was nobody could have foreseen just what a phenomenon Harry Potter was to become. And I liked it, No, I wasn't really necessarily a fan of the books, I've got to be honest, not my cup of tea. But what I did like was the fact that they got people back reading, and she was able, J.K. Joanne was able to just push all of that aside and prove if you have a good story, a good brand, you can get people involved. And boy, did they get involved. And then, of course, the movies came, starring these three non-entities. That, of course, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, I met them all. And the thing is, they were so delightful, young children, absolutely thrilled at the break that this series had given them, making them multimillionaires, rich beyond their wildest dreams, and careers if that's what they wanted to carry on doing. It's an interesting thing because they've all had middling to mixed success, haven't they, when you think about it? And then this particular thing happened. But can you imagine being that stupid to turn down this opportunity simply because of, well, this? Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. You all right? Thank you so much for joining me. It's a bit weird, isn't it, when you think the acting world, you can either get something incredibly big or indeed not. I mean, I remember interviewing Adam West from the brilliant Batman series, and he said at the time, people laughed at Batman because it was, high camp comic strip, highly coloured visual, but it was aimed at children. But, nobody believed, he said in the 60s, that you could have that sort of success. All these years down the line, people still like the original Batmans, don't they? Everybody remembers the climb up the wall with the celebrities opening the window. That's the thing. Once you capture a children's imagination, a child's imagination at a young age, it remains the thing. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because Harry Potter still remains the thing. I see people many times when I'm at King's Cross still queuing to look at the platform, go to visit the shop. The Warner Brothers tour out at Hertfordshire does incredible business, and it's all down to this woman, J.K. Rowling, a wonderful lady, met her, feisty, speaks her mind. I like her, She calls a spade, right, chums? That's what we really need in this world. None of this non-entity rubbish, right? Now, what I find fascinating is, yes, she has her opinions. Yes, of course, she's quite vocal about them. She's allowed that. Then the three people that she made internationally famous, mega rich beyond their wildest dreams, have come out and attacked her. Now, that's their prerogative too. They're allowed to do that. Ungrateful wouldn't be the word, in my opinion. But where it gets interesting is now there's a brand new development, a TV series, streaming, all about the Harry Potter characters. And this is doing great guns. It's going to be very big business. Now, what the producers decided, the makers of this particular show, was, look, all we could do with, if you think about it, is maybe a couple of flashback scenes, maybe a couple of memories, documentary, that sort of stuff, putting it all together. And this makes sense when you think. Not one of them wanted to get involved because of JK's involvement with the series. She created it. She created it, loonies, right? Of course it's her thing, right? She can do what she wants. It's her child, her baby, her creation. But they didn't want to get involved. And all that would have been required was to sort of have an on-screen, look, we might not agree, but let's disagree to agree type of thing. You know what I mean? So inadvertently, these three people that are very influential to many children of a certain age walked away from, yes, actually making up with someone who made them multimillionaires, but more importantly, they could have raked in even more millions, revitalized their ailing careers, and of course, made generations of children very happy once again. So when they bleat on about, oh, they loved Harry Potter, they certainly didn't love it enough to basically be grateful, thankful, and offer at least an olive branch to the woman that actually gave them literally everything. Meanwhile, they literally walked away from £1 million paycheck each. Now, how stupid is that? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.